Alright, in order to make a frame-by-frame flash animation in Adobe CS5, we're going to start off, I'm going to make a ActionScript 3.0 file. I'm just going to leave my stage the way it is, and I'm going to make a simple, for this animation, I'm going to have us make a simple ball bouncing across the stage. I'm going to start by drawing my ball. If you hold down Shift when you're changing the size of it, it's going to stay round, stay in its proper proportions. If you don't hold down Shift, obviously it'll change around. So I'm going to make my ball about that size, all right? So basically how this works is it's very similar to if you've ever created a flip book with the corner of your notebook and you change all the pictures a little tiny bit until you create, and then you flip through them when you make an animation. This works the exact same way. Uh, Basically, how you put in a new page of your flip book or a new frame, as they're called in Flash, you're going to hit the F6 button on your keyboard. Then you see a new frame will show up right here. It's got a black dot in it. That means that there is something in it. Now, I'm going to use my regular arrow button up here, and I'm going to grab my ball and move it just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to move it down uh, just a bit, and I'm going to push OK. And I'm going to keep, I want this to bounce all the way down to the bottom of my screen. So I'm going to make another frame by hitting F6. See that right here? Alright, I'm going to hit F6, and I'm going to move it down here. I'm going to hit F6, and I'm going to move it right about here. I'm going to pause this and finish this part. Alright, now I've created my animation. You can see I have 18 slides right here. If I click on the first slide, it'll be all the way up on the top right here. I can drag right through all my frames, and I can see my ball move. Alright, and notice I just moved it. If I go through one at a time, well, I just moved it a little bit every time. The bigger the movement you make, the choppier your animation is going to look. So once you get to the bottom, or if you want to watch this, you can just go back to the front and you hit enter, and you'll see it in the program. If you hit Control Enter, it will actually export a SWF file, which is nice. But now I'm at this point. I'm going to make my ball squash a little bit, so compress a little bit. I'm going to have it bounce up and hit the wall, bounce back, and I'm going to have it bounce all the way back to its original starting point. So in order to have a little bit of the squash at the bottom, a little bit of compression, we'll click up here on this free transform tool, make a new keyframe by hitting F6, and I'm going to equally squash it a little bit. I'm going to go back to F6, F6, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, F6. Alright, so you'll notice I'm not moving it a ton. At a certain point, after about 4 slides, I'm going to start to bring it back to its original circular shape. Alright, so I'm going to get it to be about circle again. And I'm going to be good to go. Then I can go off my free transform tool, and I can hit F6. Now I'm going to do this. Instead of moving nice short movements like I did on the way down, on the way up, I'm going to go and I'm going to do much larger movements. I'm going to squash this again a little bit, so pretending it's hitting a wall over here. Alright, so we're going to squash it a little bit, bring it back, bring it back. The whole time I'm using this F6 button. Alright, now I'm not being very careful, I'm going very quickly through this, but I'm going to get this to be about the right size. I think that looks good right there. Now I'm going to move my ball by hitting F6 and moving it up. I'm going to say it bounces up a little bit. I'm going to put it in a couple where it stays still to show you what that would look like. Now I'm going to hastily, you should be adding many more frames than this, get this ball to come back down here, squash at the bottom. Don't forget to add your keyframes after you change it, and bring it back. Alright, so let's say that's my original size. And then I'm just going to go back to my original. I'm going to hit F6, and I'm going to very sloppily take it off the page. Now if I hit enter, you'll see how slow. At the beginning, how it looked like it was falling nice and slow, and then I really speeded it up, and it made it look much, much more choppy. So that's what I would like you to do right now. You can also click on this stage color, and you can give it a nice color. We'll go with a red and a green kind of theme. Hit Control Enter, and this is what it would look like if you put it on a website. All right, that's it for your frame by frame animation.